Okay, so now you brought up the Pharrell thing. I got to take it back to Ghetto Vision. I'm Serious T.I album. Was that when you first met Pharrell when he was dropping them tracks off a Tip album, or how did y'all link up?
No. So it was around that time. That's when we met. We met because I was doing 8701 Usher, and and shit. They would start. They had did Nori, like they had some records out, and I was like, man, this shit just sound fly.
Yeah, and
we bumped it. We ran into each other working on Usher. We got cool like probably day one.
Yeah.
And during that I was like, man, I want you to meet this dude Tip. So I brought him. I played him some shit, and he was like, man, this nigga raw. But he was, at the time I realized something else was going on too. But he was super into the song, and he was like, man, this shit crazy. I want to get with him. I brought him up, and Tip being Tip, man, it's like. Tip said some fly shit. He was like, "Oh, okay, I fuck with you."
Yeah.
And they did the records, but yeah, man, it's, we met during 8701, and I feel like I've tried to get him to work on everything I've ever done since.
Young Blood's going crazy. When you brought them boys into the game, and then they took off and made a stain in their own right, what was that like having success with them?
No, I mean, again, it's all the same to me. It's like. No, that's a lie. It's not all the same. It was still new, bro. It was exciting to see these dudes who I saw like a year before throwing the football around in a club, with no music, now out with that same energy. Because when I saw them, they didn't have music when I signed them. Like it was Sean Paul, J-Bo, and the Attic Crew. The whole Attic Crew was in this club, Chili Pepper, I think. And they were just in there throwing the football in the club, and I was like, man, that shit, I don't know why that's so fun looking at me. But what I recognize is, the girls in the club were all on Sean, and J-Bo he had a different kind of presence in it, right? Where he was holding down the other side of it. And I was like, oh, they. I was asking Ken, I was like, they rap? He's like, yeah, they gonna rap. And Ken was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it together. And he actually put the music, like we had some conversations because they were in this club doing that, shake them hoes off.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a song, you know that, right?
Exactly.
And that was the first song they did.
Shake them off. So what was LA saying when you coming back with these hits and scoring these touchdowns yourself?
Well, they weren't as big as, I don't want to get beside myself. This nigga did The Bodyguard. Like, what you talking about, bro?
I forgot. Forgive me. I'm here with you.
Yeah, Shake It Off is cute.
Damn.
That shit cool. That's nice. That's all right. Man, but it wasn't The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
And Tony Braxton and all the other shit that was going. But what it was is, it was the signs of something building, and that's the part I was happy with, because to this day I still get sensitive when niggas say how I'm Serious bricked, and I'm like, no, that's his first thing he ever put out. It sold 170,000 something.
Yeah.
Of something.
When we talk about I'm Serious, I was just talking to Toomp about that the other day, and that's one of the best albums of all times, too. And I'm going to ask you this, with this being his debut album, Tip's debut album, what do you compare that to other iconic rappers' debut albums? Because the album was good as hell. It just seemed like it just didn't sell, but I don't understand why.
None of us understood promotion and marketing like we thought we did. We thought you do some dope shit and it blow
happens.
up.
Yeah.
And not to mention that we were in the building with all these other things. And even me, the success I was having as an A&R person, that's not the same as being a production company.
Ooh.
It's not. It's like there are other parts of it that's like, because as an A&R person, I turn a record in, I say, hey, Shanti, this is what they talking about, this is where it's at. She come up with a plan, pass it off to publicity, and everybody does a thing. But when it's a production company, you're responsible for finding those other things. Like LaFace was a production company.
Yeah.
Under Arista. But it looked like a major record company based on how many people were working there. Ghetto Vision was like 3 people. And LaFace, we thought LaFace would automatically do what they did for everybody else. I don't think any of us knew that.
Damn.
But that's the learning curve, right? But the shit was dope enough to get him out the gate right.
Exactly.
Today that'd be considered a mixtape.
That's crazy.
That's how niggas get away with it now. Like, you don't get charged. Niggas don't take the heat or the responsibility of their art. by calling it a mixtape. Oh man, that was a little mixtape. And they do 1,000 little mixtapes before they do one album that sells anything.
So putting together I'm Serious, and then also just how the hell did you meet Tip? And when you met him, did you realize that it was about to go down with him as well?
I met Tip at Patchwork. Jason brought him through one of our PA sessions, and he came through, and Reese was like, "Yo, you gonna like dude." Like he called me before I got to the studio, like, "Yeah, Jason got this dude. You probably gonna like him. He a little asshole." And I was like, "All right." So I get there, and it's Tip being Tip. He gets on. I was like, we got a beat playing. Like, why don't you get on that? He got on the record. It's a record called Down Flat on the PA album. He snapped, and he wrote it in that moment. And I could tell based on what he was saying that he did it in that moment.
Yeah.
But it was fire. So the next week I was going to LA for the Source Awards and was like, "Yo, you wanna roll with me?" And he was like, "Yeah, let me check my schedule. Yeah, I can do it."
Yeah.
And but seeing him, like I brought him out there to put him in the middle of all the shit that was going on to see how he handled it.
Yeah.
And he handled it better. Like he like superseded the situation. Like every situation that was thrown at him, it was almost like if you watch the Rap Game now, right? Like it was a real life weekend of that shit. Like he gets on a plane with his grocery bag of clothes. We get to LA. We go to the mall. He picks out what he wants. He got them Cartiers.
Yeah.
And, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, this me." Dropped him off on a bus with the Dungeon family. They had a cypher. He jumps dead in the middle of it, smashes. Go to sound check for the Source Awards. He gets on stage because Breeze ain't there, so he performs Breeze's part. Like performs it though, like he knows the words.
Yeah,
kills it. Does Watch with Hook. That means now everybody in the Dungeon sees him like, "Oh, okay, shawty." All right, but also everybody who's with me that weekend, everywhere we go that weekend. So he's seeing hip hop, like he's seeing it at the award show level without having the pressure of being in it.
Yeah.
Right. So watching, and when we got back, he said, "Shawty, I ain't selling dope no more." And I was like, "Okay," and I'm fucking with you.
Okay, so now you, Toomp, JG, Tip, y'all getting together to put this I'm Serious project together. What is it like crafting this thing, and how much work and effort did it take to make this thing happen?
Okay, a lot of work, a lot of effort, but when you think about everybody you named, everybody dope.
Facts.
So it's like, it's not hard. It's just getting dope people to do stuff. Like Jason's brilliant, marketing wise. He's he understood how to place Tip where he needed to be. Yeah. Like to make sure they were on the road. He was making sure that nobody ever was home on the weekend. Like, and Toomp is Toomp. Like Toomp been Toomp since I was not DJing. You know what I mean? So it's really just understanding how to communicate. Like the biggest thing is communicating and getting everybody to hear each other. Yeah. Because it's a lot of dope ideas, and everybody think they dope ideas the one.
What was going through your mind when LA left and it was getting real over there?
You know what, LA going, I ain't got deal no more. Ghetto Vision ain't real no more. Picture that. No, I mean, it didn't feel like anything. It felt like he saw a opportunity he had to take. He had to go there to do it. Yeah. It was still work to be done, bro. It was still work down here to be done. So it didn't. I don't even think I noticed that part. I just knew that now I had to go get on a plane to sit down and talk to him face to face. Yeah, yeah. As an A&R,
you start to find yourself in different labels, working as SVP all over the place. What was that transition like, going from doing your thing, coming up through the ranks, but now you big dogging out here?
Well, big dog is relative.
Talk to me.
There's always a bigger dog. I mean,
those are facts too.
Yeah, so it's like I don't think you can get caught up. I never got caught up in that. Let me say that. I just know that I had a job to do based on work I had done before. That got me in a room. I'm just gonna take that same thought process and that principle, and wherever I'm at, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be on that. So I never looked at it so much as where I was at. It was what I had access to.
But as a high-level exec, how did the game change for you? Because, I mean, did you have to play the game differently, or what?
I mean, the game is you can play it how you want to play it. Yeah. It's how you want to play. But the game is set up for you to play different. I'm not really that. I'm not a political person. Like I'm a it's the truth as I see it type of person.
Don't go there with me.
Yeah, so it works for me. But that's the thing that makes me not have to think about the different places. But what changes is the people around you. People think you have a different power. Like you now have this magic wand where you just make things happen. Mm-hmm. And really it just becomes more responsibility and more, it's just more responsibility. That's all.
As an executive though, was that as fulfilling as the early stuff that you was doing?
Absolutely not. No, that's why I'm DJing now. Like, no, I mean, straight up. It's like it's fulfilling to help, but it's also a downer when the shit don't work. Yeah. And at a certain level, it's not, oh man, that didn't work, let's move on. It's like it's being judged. And that part is, and I think that part is different. It's like there's a different responsibility for success. Like it's all fun and games when it's all fun and games. Yeah. But when it's like, when it's a boardroom of people staring down the table, looking at you like, so what's up? Mm-hmm. It has a different, it takes the fun out.